Hey, what's good, everybody? It's CJ Beatz. We're back at it again today. Today, I was going to go ahead and just make a beat from scratch. I really have nothing planned out here. Maybe you can learn a few things. Maybe you could teach me a few things. So I'm just putting myself out there, and we'll see how this goes. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and insert a VST. And let's start with the Gladiator. It's definitely one of my favorite VSTs to use. And let's go with a lead. I like that Retron. Sounds so full. But that synth has been used probably 1,000 times. You know, a good thing to do also is layer your synths. Come up with your own sound. I think I'm going to roll with that. So let's bring that back to the beginning. Turn on our loop. 4 bars. Now I already forgot what I was playing. That happens a lot. That's what I was playing. All right. So let's keep that at 120. So it didn't pick up the first bar. Let's try that again. Let's go ahead and quantize the first bar. So I'm not quantizing everything because I want that, you know, realistic feel on some of the stuff. Quantize those two. Quantize this one. That one came in too early. Too late. There we go. Stick with that. Let's duplicate that. Now I'm just going to take that MIDI section and paste it onto the next track. I'm going to layer this with a different sound now. So we got a synth. Let's go with a lead now. Turn that other one down a bit. It's hard to hear. It's probably because it's maybe an octave too low, so let's bring it up. Okay, so let's bring that up maybe. Alright. sounds nasty. I like that. All right, stick with that. And let's duplicate this. Make this 8 bars now. Still work with the first 4 bars and see what else you can add, and then you can add it later in the beat. Now, as the beat's playing, you know, I'm thinking in my head, all right, what else can I add? That's a constant like creative process, you know. And if you feel like, I don't know, if you feel like nothing comes to mind really, you know, maybe you want to step away from the beat for a little bit and come back later, or you know, just start over. There'll be points in time where I work on a beat for a half an hour, I don't like it, I discard it, and then start fresh. So you know, that creative process, like you can't really gauge when it, you know, when you ever feel inspired. I mean, it could be a song that you hear, it could be something like, you know, life changing, whatever that inspires you to make beats. I remember like the first time I sold a beat, that was like a big inspiration for me to, you know, keep going and get better and better at what I do. So don't get discouraged. You know, if you feel like there's days where there's no creative flow coming out of you whatsoever. I mean, from time to time, you're not going to feel like making a beat. I mean, there've been months where I wasn't making beats at all, and you know, it sucks. But you know, you can't, like, if you get into that state of mind, then anything you're making really doesn't sound good because you're not feeling it. And if you don't feel your own beat, really, there's no point in making beats. You know what I mean? So, you know, for those beginners out there, I mean, I remember when I first started making beats, some stuff really inspired me and was great, and then some other stuff, you know, was not so good, and I felt like, damn, I should probably let it go, not even do this anymore. As long as you stay in your lane and you keep doing what you do, there's really no limit to where you can go. Sort of went off the topic here and making a beat, but you know, anyway. All right, where were we? So I can hear like some bells on top of that maybe. So let me add some bells. See what we got on stock sounds. There's some cool stock sounds definitely. I just I don't play around with them a lot, but you know, let's see if there's anything we could find. There's a vibraphone. Okay, so that's probably going to be a little too low. So I'm going to bring that first synth down, bring this a little bit up. Let's see what it sounds like. I brought it up an octave. All right, so I found something that I want to do. All right, we'll stick with that. See if there's a different sound here. I want to reverb And the dry and the wet output in this, I'm using the platinum verb for this. The dry sound is the one without the reverb, and the wet sound is with the reverb. So I chose church for this. I thought that's usually what I use, and then I mess around with the dry and the wet. See, I sort of now like the vibraphone as like the main melody, and maybe have those synths in the back be in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on top. I always try to organize my sounds by like main and sub and so on and so forth. And then, I primarily work on my melodies first and then go on to the drums. But I mean, it doesn't really matter how you start. Some people start with the drums. But anyway, that's getting off topic. Let's go ahead and continue with this beat. Man. All right. So as the beat progresses into the next 4 bars, what I'll do is, and I hear all this in my head first, and then I start adding. So what I just heard in my head was, okay, after the first 4 bars, the vibraphone continues, but I'm going to go ahead and add another vibraphone with an octave higher. So, what's the beginning? Right there. Come on, Logic. All right, so that's an octave higher. See what that sounds like. Okay, I want that a little lower though. Turn off the loop for a second. All right, so now I'm thinking again, all right, what else can I add here? I mean, it's pretty good so far. Maybe we want to keep this part sort of as an intro and, like half a hook and then get into the verse. So I always make beats with artists in mind, and if you feel like, all right, I've reached a point where I don't want to go ahead and add any more sounds, that might be good because the artist is going to fill up the track. That's also an important thing to remember when you're making beats is, are you just making beats for people to listen to instrumentals, or do you want an artist to get on it? I feel like sometimes a simpler beat might be better for an artist to get on than a beat that, has too much stuff in it. So always keep that in mind. So I'm thinking here, what I'm going to do is keep the vibraphone for the verse. So there's 16 bars. That'll make up the verse. And let's see how that flows. Maybe have it build up a little more, so I'm going to take that part away. I'm going to turn off the metronome. And this is exactly where the drums will come in as soon as the verse starts. Right there. All right, so I'm thinking to myself right now, do I want to start with the drums already, or do I want to maybe add some more melodies in here. The best thing to do is just listen to it. So I'm going to select first 8 bars of the verse. Let's add another instrument. If I go ahead and add another instrument right now and I just don't feel it, you know what? I'm probably going to just start with the drums because I already know it. This is probably going to be a half an hour tutorial, something like that. Alright, so got the Rob Papin blue here. Let's see what we got. Maybe it's an art bank that I might want to use. I really don't like any of that. I'm going to stick with that, but I'm going to make that really low. I like the countdown and using metronome when I add any sort of sounds, even drums. Oh, missed the cue. Let's try that again. It's different what I played before, but let's stick with that. Okay, so sound didn't come through because I got it in a loop and it's not quantized. So I'm going to quantize this one here. Stick with that. Okay, because I'm going to add an 808 here, I'm going to actually add in a cue. Turn my analyzer on. I'm going to cut out the lows because the lows are going to be occupied by that 808 and I don't want that to smash together. Bring up some of the mids. You don't want sounds to clash, so using an EQ while you're making a beat really helps. I even do like a lot of pre-mixing, you know, before I actually go into the mixing phase after I track out the beat and stuff like that. Probably not going to be able to fit that into this video, but what I'll do is just make a second video and show you how I mix everything down. Yeah, I like that sound. Sounds like a tunnel or it's like coming through a telephone or something. That's dope. Stick with that. What do I want to do? Let's go ahead and add some drums now. Let's get started with the drums. And what I use is the Ultra Beat. I'm sure all you Logic users are very familiar with this one. And I have the CJ1 kit right here. It's really actually just an empty kit. but you can go ahead and if you go to drum kits and drag and drop samples, that's what you want to use if you don't want to use stock sounds, and just basically dragging your own kicks and snares and hi-hats, etc. So I got that one here. I think there's a kick on it, but let's go ahead and choose a kick. And there's there's like a few sounds in terms of drums that I use, that I stick to, that I like. I think that really aids to your style. If you stick to a certain drum, or to a certain kick, snare, etc., that really aids in showing that you have a style of beat. You don't sound like anybody else. Like layering your drums is also kind of cool because you can create your own sound that way. I always start off with my kick first, so I'm going to go to my desktop, my drum kits, and I use this kick 3 right here. Bring up the volume. Gotta find it. That's a really snappy kick right there. And now we're gonna find a snare. So let's see. You know what? Let's wait on putting the snare on right now. Let's work with the kick first. And the way I do it is I don't put it into record mode, but I let the beat play or the melody play, and then start adding kicks using my MIDI keyboard. So let's get started. Alright, so I know what I want to do. Quantize that. Let's see where did that start? Right there. Make it even, and then start recording something else. Make your drums versatile, Oops. Alright, so that last part got cut away. Kind of sucks. Alright, so I'll just duplicate it. That's not what I had. The last one was sort of off too. There we go. Alright, now we got that. We're going to go ahead and add a snare, or maybe a clap, actually. I think a clap would sound better on this. Logic's got to fix this, man. There's a lot of sounds that don't play sometimes in the preview. Started iTunes by accident. Oops. See what that's about. This is my kick. This is my snare. So I just dropped it onto the second one. And I just duplicate my ultra beat as I'm, adding sounds like snares, hi-hats, etc. All right, so let's delete this one. I imported that by accident. Delete that track. Keep it nice and neat. All right, so let's add the clap. So the clap's not really going to change over the next 8 bars, so I'm just going to duplicate that. Too low. Hip hop beats, you want your drums to really snap. There you go. Oops, don't know what happened there. Let's see what happened. I'm just going to go ahead and make that shorter and then duplicate that. If you're wondering how I'm duplicating things, I'm using the Command C and Command V. It's copy and paste. Oops, I've got to cut off that last piece. So cut that out too. I noticed over here in the second one that there's an overlapping sound. I got a kick and a snare happening at the same time. It sounds like this here. Right there. I mean, I guess you could stick with that, but I don't really like the way that sounds, so I'm just going to cut out the kick there. Zoom out again. There we go. Now there's a lot of dead space happening right there if you notice that. So in that case, what you might want to do is add, like, you got a clap here, so let's add a snare. So I'm just going to duplicate my ultra beat and select that ultra beat on that track and go over to sample 3 and look for a snare. Oop, not a clap snare, a snare. Okay, let's see what we got. Looking for sort of a trap snare, so that's not. Let's see what I got. Vibe. Of course, though. Yeah, there. That's what I'm looking for. Bring that down just a bit because it's, it's just an addition. We don't want to have that snare overpower all the other stuff. So. Without recording, I'm just going to play and see what sounds good. So again, overlapping sounds. I don't like that, so I'm going to kick out this kick. Much better. Let's make sure that's quantized. Nope, another overlapping sound, so let's see, is it that one? I think so. Nope, it's this one. Okay, another overlapping sound, so sort of want to keep that last kick right there, so this kick right there, undo that. Where'd you go? There it is. I think we should add another kick there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right there. So for my command tool, I have the pencil selected. I'm just going to hit command on my keyboard and add another kick right there. Okay, so bring that kick back a bit. Now it aligns nicely, so keep that, paste that over. Oops, wrong track. You want to select the track that you want to paste on. Paste that. A lot of dead space again, so I'm going to keep that, but then let's duplicate that. Alright, let's see. Oops. Alright, now for the breakdown, I would go ahead and definitely add some sort of a snare roll right around here, the last bar. Something like that. Okay. Overlapping sound again, so cut that out. Just cut out the kick in total. Alright. Alright, so then we got that. I'm going to copy that, paste it onto the next 8 bars. So now we got our drum set for 16 bars. And the way I do it is, most of the time anyway, I got the drums without any hi-hats or sort of any percussion really in the first 8 bars, and then I add my percussion and my hi-hats in the following 8 bars of the verse, and that sort of gives the beat, a build-up up until the hook anyway. So let's go ahead and start adding some hi-hats. I'm going to add another ultra beat to that. And let's go ahead and choose, let's see here. I usually go with live hi-hats to start with. Ooh, I put that on the wrong one. Duplicate that again. A little too loud. Bring that down. Okay, stick with that. And what I do with my live hi-hats is quantize it, and then I actually duplicate it within the MIDI region. And turn on the volume knob and bring those second ones that I copied a little down, and that gives it sort of a swing. So stick with that, copy that onto the next 8 bars. Alright, let's see what that sounds like. I'm going to go ahead and add a secondary hi-hat and make it a sharper sounding hi-hat, not a live one like that. I think this one's pretty good. Faster. I like my hi-hats to be even sounding, so I'm going to go ahead and just up the volume, find the lowest one, and then bring it all up. I did that by just selecting all, hitting Command A on my keyboard on that track, and that selects all the MIDI regions, and then you can change up the volume like that. Make sure you have this enabled. Then I'll show you the volume of all those MIDI notes. Okay, so alright, let's see what that sounds like. And if it's too overpowering, just bring it down. Let's see what that verse sounds like now. Okay, that could be a little louder, I think. Turn off my metronome. I don't like that hi-hat anymore, so I'm going to change it up. Let's see. think it's time for the 808. So I'm going to go ahead and add an instrument right here. Bring up my signature 808. Let's see what that sounds like. Gotta find the key first. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead. Fuck, I already forgot what I was doing. I was just fucking around. That's what I was doing, I remember. Almost. Almost. I want your 808s always to be on the same volume level. Alright, let's go ahead and duplicate that. And what I usually do then is add a slide to my 808. So I just duplicated my 808 and keep the same pattern in the first 8 bars, paste them over to the second 8 bars, and I'm going to change the picture like this, and let's see what that sounds like. Something crazy to happen right at the end here. Let me change this up. Let's see here. All right, now we want to think about what we want to do for the hook. So I'm going to stick with the vibraphone and duplicate that for the 8-bar hook, and maybe add a different synth. Let's go ahead and add a new instrument. Let's see what else I got. Let's go with the Tune 2 Ray Blaster. And select the lead. I'm going to loop my 8-bar hook. See, I like that sound, but I don't like the highs in it, so I'm going to go ahead and add an EQ. Turn on my analyzer and cut out the highs. Forgot to turn on my metronome. Doing there. That last key was off key, but you know what? Fuck it, I'll just stick with it. Sometimes if you make a mistake, it actually could sound hot. So that's our hook right there. And what I usually do with the hook is I leave the drums out of it. I mean, you know, you could add drums to it, obviously. I mean, that's usually what I do. Maybe I do add drums like to the last 4 bars of the beat, of the hook, and maybe we could do that. Let's select just 4 bars of the drums and paste them onto the last 4 bars of the hook. Leave out the hi-hats. Let's hear the whole thing and see what it sounds like. There's actually one thing I forgot to do, and I usually do this at the beginning. I do choose the adaptive limiter, so none of this shit overpowers too much. I was listening to the synth again and the hook, and I thought to myself, maybe I can add some mids. Let's see what that sounds like when it's going into the hook, so started right before. Maybe for the second 8 bars of the verse, we can introduce that other synth again. Oops, pasted it onto the wrong track. Always make sure that you select the track. If you're duplicating stuff, select the track that you want to actually duplicate it on. Alright, let's see. I'm not sure what that's going to sound like, but... Not sure. Yeah, that's better. I'll select the second synth. That's a tongue twister. Second synth. Maybe we can have this synth be introduced again in the hook. Doesn't really fit, so we'll just leave it like that. Alright. So I got my intro, I got my 16 bars, and I got my hook. And I think now is the time that we want to add some ambience to the beat. You know, when you're building a beat, like, it's important to have like some sounds in the background that really help the beat along in terms of like progression. And I like adding some sounds that help the beat along. You know, give it that progression. And let's see it here. I think I got something from the Vengeance Essential House Kit. These are actually meant for house beats, but I use them a lot, especially their effects and stuff. Let's see what else they got. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and add that. So I'm adding this to the intro. What I'm doing is, since it's sort of like building up, I'm going to go ahead and bring it to just about where the verse starts. Let's see what that sounds like. Turn off my loop. That's loud. Now usually I would add like a crash right there, but I'm going to leave it out because I like the way it sounds now. Now since I like that so much, I'm going to have that come in again right before the, let's see, that's 3, somewhere around here, paste that. I have that come in again before the second 8 bars come in for the verse, and before the hi-hats drop, and see what that sounds like. And here it could use a crash, definitely. So I'm going to search for a crash in my drum kits. See what we got. I think the Vengeance kit actually has some better stuff. Where was it? Search for crashes. What in the Matrix is that? I want that. Damn, that sounds crazy. I like that a lot. You know what? I'm going to actually add a delay to that. Let me duplicate this. Get another audio track. I only want the delay on this. So choose a delay, delay designer. And let's go with simple, slow pan. I'm going to use that again. Have it drop right before the hook starts, right there. And that pretty much makes up the beat. I think there's really nothing else I want to add. If you guys have any ideas of what to add, and leave it in the comments section. I really appreciate you taking all this time watching this video. I know it was a little long, but hey, maybe you were able to learn something. Maybe you could teach me something. Thanks for watching. Peace.